Watching this interview on The Breakfast Club with Gucci Mane made me have a lot of respect for him. For him to apologize to everyone that he offended with his tweets back in 2013, maybe one day we will get this from somebody else. Let's talk about this.
Y'all already know what time it is. I got the black V-neck on.
What's going on, you all? I just got through watching the interview with Gucci Mane and Keyshia on The Breakfast Club, and I gotta say I'm very impressed. This interview was good. The vulnerability that Gucci Mane shown in this interview, oh my gosh, like everything. This makes me want to actually buy the book. I think the title of the book, Episodes, is great. I thoroughly enjoyed listening to him talk about his growth and all the things that he experienced as a grown man. This is something that we definitely need to see more of, because we're losing so many of our black icons. Like, we just had the passing of D'Angelo not too long ago at a very early age, at 50. We're not seeing our black legends live, specifically just men in this conversation, live a long life. Like, they're passing away at an early age, and we are seeing Gucci Mane talk about this. Like, I think more men need to, seeing what happened to some of the other men over the last couple of years, seeing all the other men who passed away over the last couple of years who are in the same industry with Gucci Mane, like male rappers who have came and talked about their addiction issues, battling with depression. And this is something that me and T talked about recently. You all know T, Colonized Local on Twitter, also the host, one of the hosts on In the Middle podcast. We just did an episode not too long ago. You all check it out. They're over there working at Scallywag, putting out great work. We were just talking about how these men like Gucci Mane and Young Thug are battling depression. Like, they're seeing friends that they grew up with, people who they work with, not live long. And when some of these men do talk about their pain, they get mocked. I remember the video several years ago, I can't even remember who it was, where he was talking about being depressed and going through it, and they were making fun of him while he was doing an interview on The Breakfast Club.
Well, I got tired, like, of the same things, like, you know what I mean, like, over and over again, get high and saying I'm not getting high, and, you know, repeating the same.
Laughing like hell at this man's struggle. This man talking about it real, overcoming the real struggle. This man back in there.
I will ask you, because your crew just do nothing but laugh. Like, even this now, T.I.'s like, welcome to Sober Joe. Like, nobody takes it serious.
But you know what, though?
What'd you say?
A bad pill got him. He let it all go after that
A bad pill got him.
Actually, three.
He's telling the truth. Like, nah, but you know, it was more than that. It was actually I overdosed. You feel what I'm saying? And I used this platform with the thank God to.
Man, what's wrong with you, man?
That's funny.
What's wrong with you? He laughing in the background.
Man,
That's your brother, right? That's your brother.
Crazy, man.
Like, this is what we are dealing with. And I argue that men do not even create safe spaces for other men. And we're talking about black men in this situation. Like, they do not create safe spaces for other black men. And it's interesting because Keyshia talked about being a safe space for Gucci Mane, being a safe space for this black man. And Keyshia in this interview talked about all the work she has done, how she has stepped in and been all of these things for Gucci Mane, how she has been not only his wife, but sometimes a mother figure, also being a mental health advocate for him, a shoulder, all of these things that she has done to help him, even business wise, watching out for him when he was in jail, when he was in prison, all of these things. And there's some other thoughts I have around that, like how black women take on so much in relationships. I actually did a video about that on Patreon, about when it comes to gender and patriarchy, and how many women we see, how many times do we see women talk about how they stood beside their man while they were cheating, doing this and that, having an episode or what have you. And it's no disrespect to Gucci Mane and their relationship, but how often do we hear women sit down next to their husband and talk about holding them down, and how less often we see men sitting next to their wives and they standing next to them after they've done all these things. That's why the marriage with Pap and Remy Ma, and how Pap stood beside Remy while she was in jail and took care of the things, was a moment, because it's something that we do not see that often. We do not see men say these things because they're not doing it for the most part. But that's a whole nother discussion. But just to see Keyshia Ka'oir talk about all the work while also maintaining her own business and maintaining her own things that she's working on, it was a lot. It was a lot. And I was very impacted by this. I was moved by this. I was moved by the conversation and from the Breakfast Club, which is funny. But I was moved by this conversation because you had this black man that talked about the best hood that you can ever be in is fatherhood. He likes to be called dad. He likes to be doing these things. He is making changes in his life because he still is dealing with paranoid schizophrenia. He is paranoid schizophrenic. He's been diagnosed. And I have had family members who have been diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia. It is a real thing. And it will have you questioning if a person cares about you when they have these so-called episodes. And him talking about these episodes, specifically the episode he had back in 2013 where he was tweeting some outlandish things about Nicki Minaj, Fantasia, and other folks. Like, he was going off on even Drake and just saying some very wild things. And him acknowledging, like, I was embarrassed by that. I apologized to them. And when he said that the thing that you have to do when you are getting help is you have to make a call. When you leave an AA meeting is you have to call and apologize to the people you done wrong. And the fact that he did this, like, he made calls, some people probably answered, probably didn't answer, but he made it his point to apologize for these things. I appreciate that, because what he did say about Nicki Minaj was outlandish. I remember that tweet. I was like, what in the world? And he apologized, and he not only apologized for it, he said, I cannot use my paranoid schizophrenia diagnosis, my mental health, to dismiss all of the things I said. I cannot use that as a so-called crutch to this is the reason why. That's grown man energy. That is grown man energy. And that is something that I yearn to see from a Gucci Man, from our male black artists who are aging, who are fathers, not with no babies, but with almost teenage kids. Your kids are now the same age as you were when you were interested in getting into the industry. So yes, we want to see growth, and to see him reflect on how these young kids saw him at the performing at the homecomings and how they knew his words, and him also reflecting on his music about doing pills and doing drugs, and how that affected young black men, how that kind of normalized this behavior. I appreciate that, and I wish more folks like Gucci Man will understand the impact and influence they have, because there is some heavy influence, and we do have a major problem. And it's not something that's coming from just black kids just wanting to do things, and black kids. We are all dealing with the psychological impacts on us being enslaved. Like, we are carrying on years and years, decades and decades of trauma. There have been studies about how this affected our DNA. It's on another level. And it's something that there's not been much research to study it, because who is in control of these things? But we know it. We know it. We do certain things that we don't even understand why we do it. So yes, centuries of enslavement will do this to people. Like, it will hurt us, and it has. So not just on a physical level, but also on a systematic level, where you have us dealing with poverty and inequality and all the things. Gucci Man talking about this, like growing up and seeing the Klan march in the small town and dealing with racism and how he is triggered coming to East Atlanta, how he doesn't feel comfortable. He got to get out. So I just appreciate this man who still has the ability to connect with young folks, talking about like, hey, this is what I went through and this is where I am at now. Like he said, he is forever working to heal. And I love that this is not giving to me a person that is trying to like just sell a book. Just, hey, y'all go out here and buy my book because I need some money. This is giving, I really want to make an influence, and also it wouldn't hurt to make some money in the process. Like, pay me for my pain. I enjoyed this, and to see Keyshia Ka'oir talk about the things and the systems that she has set in place to protect him and to notice when to connect to an episode. Like, the only person who had his back was his wife. All these other folks did not have his back. Like, and that's real. That's real. So to come off this beautiful interview into some mess from Nicki Minaj, it's just, I'm kind of, what happened? Even Lauren talked about it after it, that the bars were texting her and asking her what is going on. Like, girl, what did y'all do? I was so confused because I didn't see any of this last night. I didn't see any of this. A friend had to send it to me. I did not know that this was going on. Apparently, the Barbs got upset because Nicki was firing shots at Keyshia Ka'oir. And she had this to say: Gucci wife has been trying to be me for years, been dying for the spotlight for years. She's there to keep Gucci sedated. Gucci hates Deb at me. They don't want Deb around me. She's around me now. Charlamagne the fraud, Jay-Z friend and business associate using iHeartRadio for these disgusting ploys against innocent families. He was around Wendy before her life went to hell. The buck stops here, baby. Bookmark this tweet. Y'all really do not understand who I really am. Bring it. Let's play. Y'all wanted attention? Let's do it. LAPD, where's the evidence of my home being swatted with a toddler? Republic Records, stand up for me. Any effing day now. You all will regret it. What are you talking about? Like, this was at 11:46 on the 20th. Like, I just don't, what is going on? Like, you have Gucci Mane talking about all these things, mental health, and then you come, it's not looking good. For Gucci to talk about him being diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia, and then you turn around and start tweeting stuff like this, you're not helping the allegations. You're not helping the allegations. We don't know what Nicki has. I think what happened was, as heavily as Nicki Minaj is online, she saw the tweets about this interview and it touched her, because the folks were saying that Kenneth Petty needs to be doing what Keyshia Ka'oir is doing with Gucci Mane, which is interesting because earlier I just talked about we don't see men do this. And we don't know what Nicki Minaj has going on. We don't know if she's been diagnosed. That's something that Cardi B put out. We don't know that. We don't know any of that. I don't want to diagnose her. We shouldn't be diagnosing her. We do not know that lady. All we know is this is not normal. This is not normal for somebody like a Nicki Minaj to be out here saying these things. Like, something does not seem right. You're attacking Jay-Z every other week. You're saying these things like, it's just, you're talking in riddles, like real joking about you being locked up in a padded room and all the things, like the rant that you did with Megan last year. Something isn't right. And you might need to have some people surrounded by you who care about you. But you know what? I don't think Nicki Minaj is surrounded by people who truly care about her and mean her well. I do not think she is. And I don't think she has, I think her relationship with her fans, who she thinks are her friends, hurts her more than she will ever probably admit. I think her relationship with her fans makes it seem as though she is like, this is okay behavior. Like, this is just fun, shady stuff, but this is not giving that. And the fans do not care about anything other than just her image. They don't care about anything other than just her being Nicki Minaj and entertaining them because of their parasocial relationship. So it's going to go on. Like, for her to tweet this stuff after the interview, Keyshia K'Or didn't say anything demeaning or anything about you. They basically just said that the stuff that Gucci Mane was tweeting was wild and he owed apologies, and you were included in that. Now, you could have came and said, hey, I appreciate Gucci Mane for apologizing to me. That really hurt me, because it was disgusting when he said, like, I can tell, like, Nicki was bothered by that. I think after that, she released that song, one of the songs that Barb's always used as, this is Nicki at her height. Like, this was Nicki. So this could have been a very grown moment to say, hey, like, I appreciate this. Like, Gucci Mane did help put Nicki Minaj on. I was introduced to her. A lot of people were introduced to her as far as mainstream because of the 5-Star remix. Gucci Mane, Yo Gotti, Trina, Nicki, all on that, like, that got her like, oh, who is this girl? Like, it was iconic. It was an iconic moment. That's like, oh, well, she had the pink hair behind. Like, that was an iconic moment. What is going on? Like, I don't know. It's just, I really wish that Miss Pink Wig would get her ish together. Like, and I think her barbs, her fans are enabling her behavior, and it just does not look good. And I don't think it will end well. Now, Keyshia K'Or did respond to this with a post. I'm like, nah, since when out here embarrassing, girl. Basically, girl, since when have I been trying to come for your top? Like, girl, what is the tea? Like, embarrassing. Summed it up perfect. I hope Keyshia K'Or does not engage in this mess. Let Nicki lie where she lied. Because if we truly care about mental health and all the things, then Keyshia K'Or does not need to engage with any of this stuff. Like, y'all done what y'all did. Y'all said some good stuff. Let this woman, whether she's having an episode or not, because we do not know, get her tweets off and move on, because we will not be talking about this 2-3 days from now. That's all I got. Let me know your comments below, and I'll talk y'all later. Bye.